Alright guys, BigPoppaTMo here. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? We're back playing a little bit more Escape the Pacific, episode 19. We are back on our home island. We went back to Starter Island before and we didn't quite clear strip it, but we came pretty close. I brought back the boat with the palm frond storage in the roof sections that are not complete. I made some more containers and I pretty much grabbed everything I could off of that. Now, in the last episode, I was explaining that I couldn't destroy these, and sure enough, that is the case. Tried it with the hammer, tried it with the axe, even tried it with the knife. No go. So, the trunk holders, surprisingly enough, though, proved pretty useful on this. The only problem I have with the trunk holders is that to get everything out of them, it's pretty much one at a time. But they do hold a decent amount of stuff. What we're going to do here, though, is we are going to pretty much detach them as we go. So I'm going to pick this one up, and we're going to move it off to the side. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll get them all off that. We're going to have to unload the entire ship, which is going to take some time because I have a lot of stuff in here, surprisingly enough. I really do wish we could grab multiple things out of here, but that's just not the case. They do hold a decent amount sometimes. One of the things that I found out, like this one right here, is holding a whole bunch of trunks. That one has a whole bunch of trunks and a whole bunch of sticks. And this one has a whole bunch of sticks. I couldn't get them to do everything all at once. You know, it was kind of a hit or miss. See what you could get in there and see what would fit. What I found seemed to work the best was putting the long sticks in first, and then the thick branches, and then um, the trunks. But it's going to take quite a bit of unloading all of this, which is rather unfortunate because there is, like I said, an awful lot. So I'm going to be doing this for a few minutes. And that's what we're going to be going on that. Now, I was working on a whole bunch of different things, um, and what I realized was the starter island was surprisingly very rich in resources, and I kind of screwed up by coming here and putting my base on this one. So if you're going to set yourself a home base, make sure you do a good thing. The reason I chose this island as opposed to the other islands was the fruit trees. And I really can't complain with the sheer number of papaya trees on here and banana trees. So it's not a bad choice of a base island, but it didn't have a lot of resources for building. So it really just depends on what you guys want to do. Like how you want to build your base and what your end goal is. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, I like to give myself kind of challenges. So I'm going to be doing another series in the very near future, or it may have already started by the time I post this video, of a struggle version of this where I have to start on a really, really crappy little island. And I'm going to come up with a couple rules for myself on what I can and can't do. Um, Make it a little bit more interesting and difficult. All right, that one is done. Let's go ahead and detach that. We have a whole bunch of rope now as well. What we're going to do with this, though, is we're going to totally redesign our boat. Because one thing I have noticed is with a boat this size, with all of this stuff on here, I'm running into some tricky issues with climbing in and off of it. One of the things in particular that's problematic is getting on the boat when I launch. And what happened off camera, I almost lost the boat. When I was trying to jump on the back, it just kind of took off like a bat out of hell and started to float away. And what I had to do very quickly was drop all of my gear on the beach and then go swimming after my boat. So one of the other things that you make sure you do when you are getting on and off of here, make sure you set your boat so that the sails are in the straight line across, so that is not going anywhere. They may still look like they're up. Right now mine look like they're down, but sometimes they look like they're up. But make sure that that line on the boat indicator is a straight across so that it's not turned to the left or right. And that will tell you that it is not trying to actually go anywhere. That way when you put it in the water, it doesn't just take off really fast. That will become particularly important the more banana palm sails we put on there. If I had 8 banana palm sails on this thing, I never would have caught it. It would have just gone out to sea and I would have lost my boat. So bear that in mind when you're floating around. But as you will see, I got quite a bit of materials here. So I think we're going to have a good base build once we're done with all of this. I was surprised at the sheer amount of stuff that I found on that island, and I think it'll be cool. We definitely got a lot of these long sticks. I'm not sure what I need in the base first. I'm pretty sure it's palm fronds for the roof sections. But I've also moved my boat over here so that it was easier to unload close to the building. But then, like I said, we're gonna break this whole boat down and build a new one, or at least rebuild this one to the way that I want it. It's going to be a slightly different design. Ever evolving. Now, I also found out I was on the Discord server, and there is in fact a little changelog section on the Discord server that tells you every little change they make. And one of the things that I did realize was they were in fact doing hot fixes over the last couple days. So a lot of the little things have been changed, like that moisture indicator that I was showing you. That was a new feature, but it was also something that once they installed it, they had to adjust that as well. I did not want to put that down. I wanted to pick that up. I'm going to pull all of the crates off of here. So that was kind of cool. And they pretty much have daily hot fixes that they do, little things and just little patches. Again, the next major patch is not coming until March. But if they keep adding little features every day, can't say as I'm disappointed with the fact that we're not going to have a major content update for 2 more months. Should be interesting to say the least. I made a whole bunch of crates too. Not only did I make a whole bunch of crates, I made a whole bunch of rope. But I was nice and did not subject you guys to that in the viewing. But I did make the bow, and I made some arrows, and I shot some seagulls. And we have some seagulls to eat. Good old cooked meat right there. Alright, we are thirsty. That's what's going on there. Whoops. You know what? Not a bad thing. Don't forget, guys, alpha, save often. Resume into that. Thirst is still at 14. And while we're right here, not in the water collector, I meant to check the dew collectors. Sure enough, water in the dew collectors. Decent amount of water in the dew collectors. Now, one of the things I'm kind of itching to do is go to some other islands because there are a couple things that I want. First off, I want to get the knife. I still have not gotten the upgraded knife, which is kind of bugging the hell out of me. Every other save that I have, by now I would have gotten the knife. I normally get it actually on the second island the same island that you get the third island, I should say. Um, the same island you get the sextant on, but I have not gotten it yet for this save. A little frustrating. Now you can pick and choose what you're pulling out of these. That's another thing. When you're going to these trunk holders, if you mouse over the different things, like right there we've got a palm trunk, right here we've got a long stick, you can grab individual things. So you could actually use these as pretty selective holders for your materials if you really, really wanted to. Like I said, I'm not a real big fan of the trunk holders, especially since you can't detach it and take it off the boat um, until it's empty. Or can I? I wonder if they fixed that. Nope, I did not mean to grab that stick. Yeah, it's just going to randomly grab something out of it until it's empty, but that's okay. But as you can see, there are a ton of long sticks in this one. Ton of long sticks in this one. Pleasantly surprised on the sheer amount of stuff that I could get in and out of that. Put this big trunk over here. Thick branches. Good stuff. Good stuff. Try and keep my piles a little organized. It is a little difficult to get them to drop exactly the way you want them to sometimes, but not impossible. All right, let's go ahead and detach that one. Just gonna move this off to the side for now. I am hoping that they institute a grab more. Since I could carry 5 long sticks at a time, I would like to be able to pull 5 long sticks out of it instead of just this one at a time grab. Now you can do this. Just grab it, drop it, grab it, drop it. Just a little bit more efficient. Let's detach that one. Move that along. All right. Got 5 of them off so far. Still gonna have to move all these sticks. But in a moment, we'll be able to see all the loot that I got and put into the trunk holders. It is a significant amount of stuff, don't get me wrong. I was pleasantly surprised. One of the biggest issues that I had early on was that these trunk holders were just not cooperating. Sometimes it would just take, 2 trunks before it was full. Sometimes it would take 6. Sometimes it would hold 10 of these long sticks and 6 trunks. It's just a little wonky, but it seems like they're working a little bit better. So I know I keep saying that, but like I said, I was in fact pleasantly surprised. So now I'm leaning towards the fact that they're not useless. But it all just depends on what you're going for in the way of materials. If you do need a whole bunch of sticks, then yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Was that not attached, or did I already detach that one? Not sure. All right, let me move this out of the way a little bit so we can see the loot. Look at all that. That's a lot of sticks. That is an awful lot of sticks, a lot of trunks, and a whole bunch of those guys as well. Not too shabby. Alright, let's get the rest of the crates off of here. I totally forgot that I even had a campfire on this particular one. It's been so long since I could see it. We're going to get all of these crates off of here so that we can organize, and it's really going to come down to now I need to organize all of my bits and bobs. And I have lots of them. Sometimes it's easier just to grab the crate. Especially when you have to turn around a bunch of different things. Alright, trying to figure out where I want to do that. Let me actually get the rest of these crates off first, because this is going to make a god-awful mess when I start taking those roof sections apart. But remember, the main thing that I was trying to get was actually a whole bunch of palm fronds. That was the main goal of going back to that island. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I brought back 80. I think I brought back 80. Because there's 10 per roof section, and I have 8 of them up there, so yep. That's a lot of palm fronds. Alright, now, let's get this one. Whoop, too close. Alright, now for this next section, what we need to do is we need to grab the hammer, and we need to pull off parts of the boat. And stack these up over here. We use them. Do be careful picking these up and moving them around. You can launch yourself into outer space. Alright, now we need to get some sails off of here. Put all the sails over here. Need to grab the masts. Can ride those into outer space. Make a separate pile for the banana sails. I'm going to do a quick save. Just to be on the safe side. Knock that pile over. Look at them just slowly sliding over. Sometimes when you have buildables too close to each other, they'll just sit there and shove each other. So be mindful of that. Every once in a while, take a look at what things are doing. If you get something that's moving around a lot like this guy was, he's just bumping into things. See, there is something that is drawing these all together. Kind of have a mind of their own at times. Okay. Let's try bringing this over here. See what it does all by itself. Nope, still going to be wonky in the wind. Power to it. Let it do its thing. That one still has a mast attached to it. Won't let you pull them apart if it has a mast attached to it. Kind of like it won't let you lift up the mast if it still has a sail attached to it. But I think this was one of my major whoa. I think this was one of my major problems, that I had too much stuff too close together from the buildables. And it was causing some conflicting issues. So we're going to do a little bit more careful of a design on the next one. We may have to still use the may have to still use this as the base, but one of the big things is I don't want the boat to be 4 wide anymore. I want it to be just 3 wide, so we actually have to take one full section of these off. Now the other question is, I have no idea how to get rid of that campfire, because it is attached to that one, which is kind of funny. Might not be able to get rid of it. Alright, let's go ahead and drop our hammer real quick so that we can move this. I'm thinking we're actually going to take the whole boat. I have the sundial. I want to bring the whole boat. No, it'll be fine there. I need it close because that's where all the palm fronds are going to go. I don't want them far away from the building. Let me organize a little bit here. Clear out a walkway. Whoop, Poppa. They're dancing. Alright, now what I wanted to do is this. Pop that. Try not to get stuck in any of these. Pop that. That is making a god-awful mess. Now what I wanted to see if I could grab the boat and kind of get everything shifted, but no, the palm fronds are actually holding it in place. So we are going to have to pull these out. And instead of putting them back down in a pile, pretty much just going to run them up and put them in place. Play the grab and go method. Even do that with the long sticks coming out of the roof. Grab those. Yep, that made a mess, didn't it? It's alright. It's a good mess. It's a good mess because we're going to end up with a finished roof when we're done. Now, if it was a more organized boat, this would also be a lot easier. So when I redesign the boat, I'm going to build it with this process in mind so that it has lots of spaces that are easily accessible to build blueprints and then break them down without having to climb through the existing structure of the boat. Made this building a little overly complicated too, apparently. Go ahead and finish these. That flashing was annoying. 25 hammer strikes. That one's done. Now, once I'm finished with the roof on this, the next stage on this island is going to be getting our farming in line. So we will start on some of the farming aspects of the game very, very soon. Alright, need one more long stick and 5 palm fronds for that one. Let's do the palm fronds first. The collision on the palm fronds is just, it is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I don't see any more long sticks up in there. Let me grab another one just in case. Might as well grab the max number we can. Alright, and we need 10 more palm fronds there. That one is complete. Should have 10 palm fronds right here. Alright, we're missing a palm frond. There it is. Do apologize about the flashing lights. Nothing I can do about it. Oh, I like that I can climb on my roof. Alright, and that will, oh, nope. Forgot that part. Need more palm fronds. Alright, so we need 8 sticks and 18 more palm fronds. Boop. I'm going to do these one at a time this time because, well, maybe not. I might have to take that one down because it's holding the other 5 palm fronds. Oh, I didn't even get all 5 of them. Well, lessons learned. Pop that, pop that, pop that. Got ourselves a nice big old mess. Palm fronds falling from the sky. So it's actually a good thing that we brought back 80. I had forgotten about the roof caps. Alright. 4 more fronds. get some long sticks, then we can finish off the roof. And to speed things up, I'm just going to grab from the pile here real quick. Running a little bit long on this episode, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. One thing I have learned, this game is a wonderful, wonderful time suck. You will find yourself playing this game for hours. Like, oh, just one more of these. Nope. We'll find something else. Can I get out of there now? I want to see it from the top. I'm always getting tired. You've done a good job, though, Mr. Survivor Man. Top of the world, Ma. Not too shabby. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you like what you saw, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost a thing, and it means the world to me. It really helps out channel growth and exposure and everything else like that. If you haven't already, hit those notifications. Get notified when I go live or when I post new content. Till next time, guys, go collect your own damn resources.